Well, Gavin Manders was about 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. Announcement came out from Tucker's Point that they had changed a few things at the location, and one of them was tennis.
Sure.
A shock to me, as you had your Manders tennis management group down there. Can you enlighten us on how things materialized and the fact that a Bermuda company was kind of, for lack of better words, kicked out?
Well, I mean, the company itself wasn't down there. That was something that we were, we had approached new ownership to bring us down. I mean, us as a unit, we were down there. But as for the company itself, it wasn't officially at Tucker's Point. But a lot of the people that make MTM up were the people that made Tucker's Point kind of the name has been over the last 5 years. I would say it wasn't so much a shock because we saw some of this coming, and we knew some of the things that they were looking to do. But in the way that it happened, definitely was a shock to me, and definitely was unprofessional for sure.
Can you explain a bit of how it went down?
Yeah, so I mean, they had let me know that they were looking to use Cliff Drysdale Tennis Management, which is an international tennis management company. How that would work with immigration and myself, I wasn't really sure how it would play out. So they let me know that they were going to be moving this direction, and made my position redundant, and created a new position, which they gave to a foreigner, a Russian young lady, and offered me a lower position, which just didn't make sense for me in my career and where I was. It was definitely way lower than what I was already at. And for someone who had done as much as I had done for them, wasn't even given the chance with the resources to actually, run the facility in a proper way. As it came out of receivership, we still had the same amount of resources. But business is business, and they wanted to do. They have a vision. They wanted me in there, but weren't willing to treat me with any sort of respect. So I just said to myself that it's time to leave.
Yeah. On to tennis itself, your career. You've been the island's #1 player for quite some time, undefeated until, what was it, last year or earlier this year in the clay court?
Yes.
Yeah. Take us through some of your career thus far, because it's a remarkable story. And we see others trying to emulate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why MTM was created, and we took that to Tucker's as well, but they weren't interested in that. So Fairmont here is interested in this story, and I think you're right. It's been a long one. Mm-hmm. I've been at the top for a long time. I had got to the top when I was 17. Quit tennis when I was 19. Sam Mabry brought me back from, not even looking like I was going to be playing anymore. And I've been #1 ever since. I lost my toe in a motorbike accident. Looked like again I was going to be done. I've still came back, but it's just a passion for the game and my passion for growing the sport in Bermuda. And we created MTM. You see, Fairmont has given us the opportunity to help the next generation see that tennis can be an avenue, resource for you, a vehicle for you to really excel in life. Whether it's a scholarship to college, I got a scholarship to university through tennis, and we need more positive stories and positive outlets for our youth. So I continue to play because that is what I'm looking to do. It's not just about competing and winning anymore. It's about what does that do to help create a legacy that shows Bermudians that tennis can be used as a vehicle and an outlet to be successful in life.
If you would have known what you know today when you were attending, getting ready to attend university, what would you do differently?
Ooh, that's a tricky one because, to be honest, without the experience that I had in university, I don't think I would be who I am and where I am today. You know, the kind of the trials and tribulations that I went through in that time helped mold the character and the person I am. I would say if I was back in tennis academy, that I would probably do things slightly differently, because I would have a better understanding of what it takes to actually make it to be a competing professional tennis player, which I didn't know at that time. So going back to tennis academy, I would have worked hard. I would have trained after training. I used to see some of the kids, this is after 5 hours of training, they go back out and start playing for another hour or two like a lesson. We'd be looking at them like, you guys are crazy. And even they didn't make it, you know? So that would be something that I would change. But in general, my story and how it's gone has molded me to where I am today. A lot of people that played in college that I know that were really good don't play anymore, and I think it's because how their story played out, you know, they don't have the passion for it anymore. So the times where I lost it a little bit have helped me now realize how much it means to me in my life and how much it means to Bermuda tennis, and that's why I continue to drive forward.
When you see youngsters out here with tennis rackets, hitting the ball up against the wall or just trying to hit it over the net, does that remind you of yourself when you were their age?
Yeah, I mean, just anyone loving the game just reminds me of why I started in the first place. And that's what Sam Manby showed me when I lost my love for the game and didn't want to play anymore and didn't see the value in it. You know, he made me coach kids to bring back that thing. So I came to him wanting to train, and it's like, you go coach those children over there. I'm like, come on, Mabes. You know, I'm trying to train, you know. So I'm just bringing up that story because that is exactly what drives me still to this day. It's seeing the kids play. It's seeing how much they're enjoying the game, how it's teaching them life lessons, how to lose, how to win. You know, so that's why even with the Tuckers Point situation, everything happens for a reason. So I'm here at Fairmont. Me and Giovanna reunited. We already have 60 kids in our program, which was already driving, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to help Bermuda tennis grow. So the fact that Tuckers couldn't see the value that I could bring, that's just another little bump in the road that just sent me somewhere else. That now I can share my passion here and really start to kick into what Bermuda needs. You know, Tuckers is very exclusive down there, so this opens us up to do a lot more work with the community. And at the end of the day, for me, anyone who turns me down, it's just a drive to show them, you know, that what they're missing pretty much.
Your honest opinion on the state of tennis in Bermuda?
I would say that it is rebuilding. That'll be the best word. We have a lot of young, talented coaches in Bermuda who are really pushing to help the game. I think we had a gap period. I think with technology and new modern teaching compared to the older techniques and just a variety of different, you know, cultural things, we started to lose it a little bit. But I truly think from our younger generation that Bermuda has a really promising future. But, you know, the Tuckers Point situation is something that will affect us as well because, you know, MTM was created to help Bermudians have jobs in the tennis profession in Bermuda. And what they've done is they've given the highest job to a foreigner. And whether she's played on the ATP lower level or whatever the case may be, there are still qualified Bermudians that could do that job. I understand business and I understand Cliff Drysdale tennis management. That's actually their protocol. That's how it works. But as a Bermudian and a person who's traveled all around the world and someone who wants Bermudians to stay here locally and not move away, we need to make sure that we have these jobs for us, especially if we're qualified to do it. So, you know, the state is moving in a positive direction, but there are some things that need to be sorted out when it comes to keeping people motivated because, you know, the tennis profession, we're 68,000 people. You have 2 foreign coaches, then 3 foreign coaches here. That's taken the profession away from the Bermudians who have dedicated their lives to the sport. So I think there's a mixture of a blend that's going on. Things like what Tuckers does have benefits. It's just that it needs to be done in the correct way and done in the correct avenues so that Bermudians have the opportunity to get those. But hey, the younger generation is coming. But we do have a gap. For me, there's the in the 20s area gap that we don't have as many of the hungry players. But if you don't, MTM doesn't teach tennis. We teach you how to love the game, and through that, you become something special. Like, I'm not as good as I am just because I'm really good at tennis. Come from a sports family, but I was taught how to love the game. I was taught how to love sports. So through that, I just want to play all the time. So that's what it takes to really get tennis to where it needs to be. It's not so much about teaching the game, it's about teaching how to love the game so that they themselves want to push to be better,
You used to play a lot of sports when you were younger.
Yeah.
Why tennis?
Fell in love.
Yeah.
Cricket was my first love. With the Manders family and all that, and I was opening for Bermuda's national team from a young age. But tennis, I lived across the street from Port Royal. The temple up there is another place that's community based. I could just go over there and show up, and that's what we're trying to bring back here, so that kids can just show up here and understand that the tennis facility is like a home. Like, you can come here, spend the day, learn the sport. So I think that's what took me away, and then the individuality of it. I didn't have to rely on anyone else. I think that played a part. And I mean, I was so young, I don't know if this was a part of it. Maybe I wanted to create my own, legacy. I don't think that was something that was, like, big, but with me loving the sport and it being individual, I just gravitated towards it. And then, with a father who pushed and a loving mother who took me everywhere, I just decided that it was time to shut down all the other sports and try to make it. So here I am today. But watching Cup match this year, I've been saying for a while that I want to come back, but I really do want to come back and play cricket because it was my first love, And with me being in shape, I think I could play, later into my, late 30s or early 40s, but not until my job's done at the top of the tennis game.
When you look at Bermuda internationally, as far as Davis Cup, Fed Cup, are there concerns as a player, as a current player, and a person that's trying to help the youth come through?
No, I have no concerns at all when it comes to Davis Cup. I can't really talk to Fed Cup because I haven't been out there and seen the level and how our girls have done. Scores don't really tell full stories.
Right.
But when it comes to Davis Cup, no, I mean, it's been 2-3 years that we've struggled a bit, but that's just because we're moving from the older guard to the newer. And as the number one player, the passing of my mother, going through a little rough time, I've now recommitted myself to the fitness side of the game. But in general, we got some young. We had Trey Mallory, who had the youngest win in Davis Cup history. I got Daniel Phillips. Not sure whether he's going to be playing for Bermuda yet, but hopefully. And we got some other guys, Scott Redmond, younger guys that can really compete at that level. Because the truth is, until you're shown and you've seen it, and you can't really show someone else that level without being there.
Right.
And we have that. So it's on, to be honest, it's on MTM and the rest of the coaches in Bermuda. And I would say specifically us, because we have so many other higher level players, to show these guys what it takes from a professionalism, performance culture. That's the thing that Bermuda misses at times, and you would have seen it out in Colombia. Performance culture is when you wake up, this is what happens.
Yes.
For your day, this is what happens. Everything else in your life goes around that. So we have Trey out in Tennis Academy. We have Daniel out with Rafael Nadal. We have myself who's seen it, Javon who's seen it. There's other people that have seen it, Ricky Mallory, Jensen Bascom. So to me, I think the future's bright, because what a lot of people don't know is we're in Group 3 right now. Usually we're in Group 4 and we get promoted and then come right back down. So right now, for the latter part of my career, we've just been playing against a really high level of opponents and big tennis countries. So what it's doing is it's putting a lot of pressure on us to play at a level that we normally don't get to see. But I think it's a positive, because the higher the level is, you either rise to it or you go away, and I don't see us going away.
Any thoughts of maybe we see the tourism authority bringing in, or assistant bringing in, swimming, golf, all these other sports? Any thoughts about approaching them to maybe look at bringing in 2 Caribbean countries that you can have a triangle tournament against?
Sure. So that's been done before. We brought Jamaica in this quite a while ago. We are definitely looking at creative ways to do it. The tricky part is with us, we send our players away. Like I'm talking about our younger ones, so they're not really here. Any of the guys like myself or David Thomas or Neil Tosin that are still competing, we compete because we want to, and we understand. We've been in training programs. We know what to do. These guys are away, and we wouldn't want to bring them back to play against a level that they're already getting. So that's definitely something in the summers that I think that we're looking to do. Whether it's bring down a couple guys so we get that level. It's been done before, and I would agree, yes, it's something that we should be looking at moving forward. Because when you get out to these competitions, unless you've seen that enough before you go, by the time you get used to the speed, the competition's over. So, you know, it's a tricky thing, and bringing in people from away to help can help us to see that level.
What would you say your strength is, clay or hard?
Definitely red clay. I mean, red clay is my surface for my game style. I definitely had when I've been undefeated and won Athlete of the Year. I've been undefeated on the red clay in singles. But I love, as I get older, clay is probably better for the muscles and the joints. But you know, I'm starting to become a little bit more aggressive. I have to evolve with the game. Can't play all defense, so I thoroughly enjoy all of them. But red clay.
Yeah. When you look back at your career, what would you say be your highlight?
That's tricky.
Got that many?
I mean, it's just more of, you know, my highlights have changed. I don't know. It's, you know, MTM, creating MTM for the next generation is a highlight. Having a lesson with the first lesson with my son is a highlight. You know, those are kind of more of the ones than like Athlete of the Year and kind of those individual. You know, maybe 5-6 years ago I would have said, yeah, you know, becoming Athlete of the Year, first tennis player to do it, would have been it. But I don't know. I don't really look at all of those anymore. I've done it all. My main highlights are, you know, would be like going to take the under-14s and coming forth when we weren't expected to do anything, you know, helping Trey beat my record. You know what I mean? So I was injured on the trip and doing whatever I can to make sure that he succeeds. Like, so for me, seeing other people succeed is my highlight now. And, you know, it's driven me, and the next chapter in my life is that. And, you know, with my mom passing, that's kind of been a lot of the things that's changed how I look at it, because she always was about helping other people. So, you know, for me, someone being successful is me being successful. And my individual accolades and championships and all that, I mean, I probably hate losing more than I love winning, you know. So they don't really mean. Don't get me wrong. I humbled and honored to be able to do that and have the skill set and been given the opportunity to do everything I do. But other people's success right now, through me helping them and using all of the stuff that was highlights to teach someone else how to get those highlights, I would say is my main thing.
If your mom was here right now, what would she say to you?
Ooh, what would she say? She would say, "I'm proud of you, little white mouse." That's what she used to call me when she got a little. But yeah, I think, you know, every day that's what I look to do is make her proud, and you know, she was a big part. So.